button there.
Oh yeah, it still says upcoming.
So it should be live now. So, hello everyone. Hey Darcy.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Jeff.
Hey Jeff. So, I guess we're back. This is
Hey, we
our
made it.
2022 first stream. I don't know what to say. Is that exciting or not exciting? I guess we made it
So excited
past
we
the
can't
year.
stop.
You know, I mean, I can hear the excitement, but everybody that's returning this year to our stream is going to be rewarded. My friend Craig was talking about how we're dangling out these NFTs and we're going to keep everybody strung along forever. That's why you tune in, so that you can get your NFT that you're never going to get. It was kind of funny.
Wait, now they're not going to be waiting.
Yeah, I know. I told him the
You're
secret
spilling the
plan.
beans.
Yeah, I'm spilling the beans. But we're gonna kind of recap our discussion from last time about what are NFTs and discuss more about them. And then we're gonna look at some of them. I don't know how much we looked at the other ones, but we're a little more prepared this time. As you can see behind us, we're at OpenSea, and we're on some pretty cool NFTs. I like this Goon Cats because it's got some motion with it. It's simple, but I wish my mouse kind of like, I need, note to selves, we need a little like mouse thingy majig that kind of is a little better than this one.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I make mine really big. It's just
You just have a bigger
my old
mouse.
eyes.
You do
Yeah.
pointers with a bigger mouse.
Yep. And
Maybe,
different colors.
maybe I should do that. I don't think I'll do it on the stream though. Maybe I'll do it during our break.
Do it later.
I'll do it during the break, during our awesome intermission music.
Yeah,
So everybody can watch me
maybe
change.
something a little more exciting.
Yeah, they'll get to watch me change over the mouse.
Like,
So
I
that'll be
can't
cool.
wait for the intermission.
it's like the people watching the commercials for halftime, or the commercials at the Super Bowl. They're like, I don't care about the game. The whole reason those commercials are there. No, we're in it for the halftime show. This year's halftime show is like what, Dr. Dre, Eminem. I forget who else is there. There's like 4 people, but I was like, what? Everybody's coming out of retirement. Are they gonna bring them? Oh, I better not be mean, because then they have a lot more followers than us.
Yeah, one of our followers might decide that they don't like us anymore.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I still like the music. It's not like I'm knocking the music. I'm just saying we're all old now. That's all I'm saying, is that I'm old. We're all old. So, not that old.
Yeah, you're old.
I know, not that old, in perspective speaking.
Yep.
This morning I feel a little old. So, let's get back to our NFTs. So Goon Cat's pretty cool. I'm going to click on him. That's pretty cool. And they only want $32. That's like probably the most reasonable price I've seen in a long time. But it is of Polygon. So it's not ETH, which there is a distinction, but I don't see it being an important one to regular consumers. So I'm going to go back, and let's go back to discussing the different types of NFTs. So to remind everybody, what's an NFT? Darcy, do you remember?
It's a non-fungible token. Yeah. I actually knew that without reading it.
Yeah. And so what is it? What is, in your words, what is it?
Oh, we're doing this again.
It's a new year, new questions.
Yeah.
Same question. Same question.
It is a well, Jeff.
Okay, so we're gonna go with me answering it, because Darcy was only prepared for the name. So maybe after this one, she'll be prepared for part of the definition. And it is up on the screen, but it's in super tiny type. I don't even know how anybody's able to read that. I'm looking over.
Well, I didn't know where to begin. Honestly, what was stopping me is I didn't know where to begin. It's a pretty big, yeah, I didn't know where to begin. If
Well,
someone asked you, Jeff, what's an NFT, what would you say?
digital asset.
It's a
I think
digital
that's
asset.
like, so when we were preparing for the stream, was it yesterday? Um, we came across something that described blockchain in a really good way, a simple way, right, Darcy?
Oh yeah.
And it was just a copy of a database on everybody's computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it that a lot of people may not know what a database is or not have a really solid formation of that, of what it is in their head. They might know it by name and have heard about it, but what does it really do? So it's just a collection of data, information. No big deal, just like in its name. And I thought that description of the blockchain was a really good one because that's really what it is. When you say it's like a distributed ledger or you try to talk about the blocks and how it goes on the chain and what's in a block, it gets a little confusing, and just say it's just a database that everybody has a copy of. And so it's the same on every single person's computer. For a split second it's a little different as you put in your new transaction before people approve it. But as soon as it's approved, then that once that block's committed to the chain, then it's everybody's database is the same. So over here on the NFT side, as I was making you struggle and stress out about answering that hard question, Darcy, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. No, it's totally fair.
But I
No
wanted your idea of it, because that's usually how, when I try to describe it, I have my idea, and then that's why I try to go to, like, the definition and look to see how it's actually defined and then form that up. Because sometimes if you start with the definition, it's super confusing and
Mhm.
it's not very clear. But I was looking here on the screen, and the easiest way to describe it is a unique digital asset. So that's also pretty important. I mean, it can be a little less unique. That is possible. But I think that's a really, really good description of it. So then, if you continue on with the sentence, based on blockchain technology. So, a unique digital asset based on the foundation of blockchain technology. That's pretty concise. And if you want to just shorten it, it's a digital asset. Because when we're talking about it, a lot of times it's in the art world, but we're going to talk about the other ways. And so it could be a title to your car, it could be driver's license, it could be your certificate of voting. That's also one of the options that it could be used for. So there's lots of ways that an NFT could be used, but it's like a digital asset. It's unique. Um, it's not recreatable for that exact same thing. Once it's committed to the blockchain, everything comes back to that blockchain, guys and ladies.
Oops.
Folks, you are correct, folks. So, or robots. We can't forget the robots.
Yeah, don't forget the robots. That would be
Um,
dangerous.
that would be the best way to describe it. So, we don't care about the money side of it for now, because if you don't understand what you're doing with your money, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. And let's just go under that assumption that we're not going to, well, we will always talk about the money side. I think I would like to end or have that as part of a stream, if it seems to be what people want. But if you'd rather just know about things, then we can just focus on that side too, because we are not financial advice. So all we would
No.
do is just review, which you could go to the same website and see. So it's not really, I don't even know if we'll get into giving our thoughts on it, because this side's way more interesting. Building it, figuring out what it does, how to use it, how to try not to spend money on it. We have a really, really exciting thing to announce, to tell everybody about, how you can use NFTs in the real world, and it's really cool. We just realized this, just discovered it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, "Ooh, what's the big news?"
And
No,
you're like,
it
oh
is.
yeah. So common
Oh,
types of NFTs: original work, ownership rights, and metadata. So the ownership of a metadata file, kind of not very clear. Digitally native NFTs, again. I mean, if you looked at this as somebody was trying to describe it, I don't think this would do a good job. Original work recorded on a blockchain or a DLT. I mean, it just raises more questions than it does provide answers. So we're gonna scroll past that, and yeah, here we go. The different types. So they have a list that's pretty good. So we got collectibles, artwork, event tickets, music and media, gaming. Gaming's obvious to me, and virtual items. Those two are insanely obvious. That's what the news talks about, and the artwork one up at the very top. That's what everybody's talking about. That's what you hear when people throw around the word NFTs. Music and media and event tickets are coming up. They're becoming more and more talked about. And then the real world assets, really in the background, what all the developers are really working on are the real world side of it. I think there are people working on the flashy side, but the backside is already being built and starting to happen, whether people realize it or not. So we're gonna look at each of these different ones, and then they got domain names and memes at the bottom. But domain names are good, but the memes I'm not really sure. So collectibles, collectibles and artwork are gonna put together because okay, so a collectible could be. I've thought about this. This would be cool, and I think that's what CryptoKitties is. We could go look at what CryptoKitties. Um, I think they're one of the most popular NFT things out there. I forget what they do exactly. Let's go look. It's important because this is a fun site. Yes, it is
love
exactly
it.
this. Yep. Collect and breed forever friends. And so, what is CryptoKitties? It is a game centered around breedable, collectible, and oh so adorable we call CryptoKitties. Each cat is a one of a kind and 100% owned by you. It cannot be replicated, taken away, or destroyed. So, this idea is an obvious use case. Think of like Pokemon Go. Think of Tamagotchi, the little electronic things that you can
Oh, yeah, yeah.
keep. You keep them alive, and somebody had one alive for like 20 years or something silly.
Really?
Yeah, not lying. It's like the coolest thing in the world, and then it's so simple. You just feed it, and you do whatever. So it's just it's just like your own little virtual pet,
That
and
sounds like a lot of pressure.
it would be for the like once it got past like a few years, it would be. It's kind of like my bonsai trees. It's a lot of pressure now. It's like I gotta think. I think of them before I think of my cat. Sometimes it's like or Link's cat.
Oh,
It's
poor
Link's
little
cat
dude.
because that it's not my cat, so it's Link's cat. So that helps out. Yeah, little dude.
Oh, yeah. Safer.
Little dude's second place behind the bonsais because he can survive a little better. He's a little hardier than the bonsai. So, so CryptoKitties is a virtual pet, and what's really cool about it is their breeding mechanism that they have in it. And so then it creates unique ones that become desirable, and then you can sell them and trade them, and it's crazy. So we're gonna find one real quick that's kind of expensive or not. I just want to see learn how to play. So I wonder if it's a free game. I think it is. Get the kitty. So you start with one, create. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's a time waster. Um, so it's entertainment because it'd
I
just
like
be
it.
like any little mini game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you play any game on your phone, maybe you should start playing CryptoKitties because you could actually earn money off of it if you figured out how to breed one with a cool ass mustache or make it look sick or something. So we're gonna click on this. We're gonna translate this into real world money. So let's read about them first. Good day, Kitty. 26,714. Well, I can't read numbers, so whatever. I'm here to enjoy fighting the patriarchy of tripping my owner. And tripping. Oh, I'm just not going to read today. I'm often described as stinky, and I own it. We can be friends, but keep the ultra personal stuff to yourself, please.
This is perfect for you.
It is. It actually is, and it
Minus
is
the stinky part, but
yeah. But and my friend Phil, he would love this. He would be the CryptoKitty Godmaster, Godfather, or whatever. I don't know.
Godmaster's way better.
So, I don't know. Fancy cats. Oh, I want to see these. Ooh. Wow, we totally are off on a tangent. But I guess this is an NFT. This would be a collectible. So, I don't see how it's much different than art. So I want to fast forward to our big reveal, right? Because this is awesome. Yeah. These pictures are really cool. And so and to think that you can like combine them together and get different ones. You could end up spending and see, like, it's not unique necessarily. So for the people just listening, I totally forgot about that. So what, we've been going for 20 minutes or so. Maybe today's stream will just be a tad longer. We still have our same timeline, right?
Yep.
Partner? Cool.
Yep.
All right. So this one has 2,400 of these left that you can purchase. So it must not be a very expensive one, or you get it for free. Because they got to have some way to start you in on it. They can't just have people pouring. I mean, I guess they could, in theory, have people pouring. Oh, well, really? No way. No. Okay. So, tar run number 9. I throw pillows first and ask questions later. These are so cool. We'll have no sleeping at this slumber party. Pillow fights are where it's at. Toucan play at this game, but
Toucan.
Toucan.
Like Toucan Sam.
I know.
Because he's got a toucan nose.
Oh! I didn't see that. Good job. All right. 1.6 ETH. Darcy, quick question. Do you know what ETH's going for these days?
I haven't a clue. I can't imagine.
Not even a clue, right? So I'm making a total wild guess that it's at $3,200 each ETH.
Okay.
Yep. Wow. I mean, I looked at it yesterday, but it could have dropped. It's been dropping. But let's do our little ETH converter. Where are you at, ETH converter? What? There was I thought I saw it one day.
You did. I don't. Maybe you just Googled it separate.
Yeah. We need I wanna tell everybody how much this is, and I want to get it right because it's a lot, as you can already guess. What was it? 1.6. What did it say? Yeah. So $5,000. So we went a second ago. We saw $1,000 little picture, or a $32 picture, and now we're up to 5,000 for these CryptoKitties. So as cute as they are and cool with the Toucan Sam hat, not Toucan, then, but it's the same. Yeah, you get your number, but whatever. Wow, really? You think they're selling it? But then you can probably combine like the pillow, the little hat thing, this outfit, maybe the color with another one.
Well, since that one's Gen 24. I wonder. Yeah.
I don't know. They're cool though. Okay, so we have these cool NFTs. They're the collectible side. Then you have artwork, which we were over here on OpenSea, and these are regular NFTs that aren't, they're still collectibles. And
Mhm.
this is a cool piece of art right here. And for the people listening, we were looking at CryptoKitties, which is a Ethereum based game, and you breed kitties and you get other kitties. Really, that's pretty much it. And then you sell them, and people like to look at their kitties. And I'm assuming there's a virtual world that goes along with it. And you walk around with your kitties, or they follow you. Who knows? It's interesting, but I'm not gonna spend time on it right now. I'll probably offline just go buy a whole bunch of crypto kitties, and I'll be a crypto kitty godmaster like Phil. And so, and he's not, but he probably will be
You and
soon.
Phil,
Yeah, me and Phil will be
crypto
like,
masters.
yeah, we'll run the crypto kitty market, black market. We'll have like, never mind. This is gonna go down a
Yeah, that's
bad
weird.
path. Yeah. So, so, this rainbow sketch is a nice piece of art. But what are you gonna do with it? You're like, cool, it's on my computer, it's a background. Maybe I can show it on my phone. You know,
Mhm.
that's what I've always kind of thought. Or and your virtual world, right? So any of the virtual metaverses, we don't really need to dive into that, but just a virtual world, fake world that's digital, and either you put glasses on or you just look at your computer screen and go into it. It's nothing more than that. And when you go into it, it's just a bunch of objects that people built with computer programs, and it's just
Yeah.
graphics. Nothing you're missing out on if you choose regular real world life. um, but it is cool because it's just another little customized area. It can easily be taken away by any company that runs that. That's why it's important for these decentralized ones to be truly decentralized. Some of them just flow back into a couple servers, and then it's just the same thing that we're currently dealing with, but they're maybe on 10 nodes or something, 100 nodes, but they're still all controlled by the same company. That's not decentralized. Decentralized is where it won't die if somebody decides to pull the plug. And so when you're buying these NFTs and you have them right now, I would be extremely careful on ownership. Do your research. But you could get this really cool picture, and there was no way to really show it besides on a computer screen. It didn't really come to the real world. Um, which I guess you could have a bunch of computer screens sitting around, but not as cool.
Right? I
So,
don't know why. Oh, yeah.
oh, what? You don't know why? What?
I
Let me
was
get a
just
drink.
thinking, for some reason, when you said a bunch of computer screens sitting around, I was imagining like the old school ones, the really big, heavy
Ooh,
ones.
yeah.
Like,
Well, that's about all you're gonna do with them nowadays. Is
yeah,
maybe
right?
show
Like,
it, show your NFT. You're just showing a JPEG image, and it'd be horrible too. But maybe it has some kind of allure
yeah,
to
so
it.
instead of like when record players came back and they
Yep.
were like super hip, now like all those old computer screens are gonna come back to show off your NFTs.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't even know. You'd have to have like so many converters to get the things to work. And
Yeah,
and
silly.
and think of the power draw. They were so heavy on power. I mean, you'd probably be like, it cost you more just to show off your NFTs than it power your house or something like
Sure, right?
that. So we stumbled across this super awesome thing, and so
So cool.
Netgear already has a smart picture frame. So if you didn't know, smart picture frames are ways that you can show using a thumbstick or Wi-Fi your pictures, your family pictures, your family photos. You can rent collections of pictures from artists that will scroll and slideshow across your picture frame for a monthly fee, yearly fee. Great ways to support your favorite artists. If there's any artists that happen to be listening, I would be happy to work with them, to help talk to them about, how to get into this. And try to do it as safe as possible. That's the thing. Don't It's going to cost money, so try not to lose as much money for you minting your things. But um, you could have a collection out there, and you could display it. Well, what Netgear is doing is they're integrating MetaMask, and MetaMask is a wallet for cryptocurrency and NFTs, because NFTs are just cryptocurrency in a way. I mean, they're just tokens on a blockchain, um, and they're just really We don't even need to use that word. They're just data in a database, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a record in some table somewhere. Uh, and we can show them now on their picture frame or upcoming. I think they're planning, because this was in this. I don't know if this was just announced. Where was the date? January 4th. So
Or
it
yeah.
might have been. It might still be coming. Yeah, because it was just at CES, which just happened. Um, but they're gonna integrate MetaMask and NFTs with their picture frames, and so what that'll allow you to do is you will be able to show off your NFTs. So if you spend $1 million, you will be able to show off your ape guy, because I'm guessing that's how much that thing went for. Over a million. Bored Ape, that's what it is. Bored Ape Yacht Club. But the thing that people don't understand with that is I believe it earns you a ticket on that yacht. There's a yacht somewhere and you get to actually go on it.
Like at the end of the world. Or like,
No, I think right now I think it's
oh.
like a roaming party. I don't know what exactly. Do they take it out? I'm not sure, because I'm never ever, well, I can't say I'm never, because whenever you, well, I'm gonna say it so then it happens, because whenever I say never, I always have to take it back. So I'm never ever gonna be able to afford a Bored Ape. So then I'll never
Yeah, me
have to
too.
worry about that. Yep, see? Yeah.
I want to
There's,
get in on that.
yeah.
On that.
But see, there's more to it, and that's what we'll get back to in a second. We're coming up on our intermission. But
Mm.
something to think about while we're on break, and I'm not gonna fix my mouse because I need some more coffee.
Yep.
Is you can display this awesome motorcycle picture. I actually think it's pretty cool.
It
And
is
it
pretty
only
cool.
cost you $200, which is in the realm of reasonable art, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you've bought art, that is not something crazy for a normal, regular working person. I mean, I don't want to say rich people don't work, but I mean, they do. It's just like they can afford more of the $200 pieces of art.
Yeah.
And so, your everyday person is going to be more than likely going to be able to afford $200 versus, millions of dollars. And so this is something that you can buy and then you can directly display on your wall. And the moment you buy it and transfer it to your wallet, if your wallet would be linked to this picture frame, or it's really to your web account, it wouldn't be to the picture frame itself. They have an account in the background that would link to it. And then you can select what you want to show on it. And so pretty much as soon as you buy it off the internet, you'd be able to show it on the wall. And if you already had your room decorated, or you already have, a nice mantle like this with your books and everything looking really nice, so it looks great, now you have a new picture there and you can choose to use it. And if somebody came by and, stopped by your house, or if you're an artist and you could have your art displayed in your house and people come by and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, you could sell it on the spot. And, think about galleries. You could have a gallery show at a museum, and you could have, a few hundred copies of this picture, because you saw over here for Cryptokitties, you can have more than one of the same thing. This applies to everything. Um, and you could sell it right there on the spot, and by the time you got home, you could have it, in that frame showing on your wall. So
So
I
cool.
think of okay, think of this, and then we'll go on our break. If you're at we have a small little I forget how to describe it, festival, I guess, called Rhapsody in Green, that's here in a little park in our city. And you go and people do crafts and whatever, and you walk around. Well, you could have art versions of that. They have art on the bluff too. They have that's probably more accurate to this. So you could walk by and they could have their NFTs on display in their little booth. They'd have to have power, obviously. Um, but they'd have their little NFTs on display, and you could buy them on the spot, and you could do that transaction right then with cryptocurrency digitally, and you would be able to have your NFT. You'd buy it, it'd be put into your wallet, your MetaMask wallet, or whatever wallet you're using. If you're using offline storage, cold storage, whatever they call it, and then now you are able to buy art from local art people and they could sell more of it without having to, because they're doing prints anyways at those things. It's not like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, of course you can buy the real original, but if you really look at it, they're mostly prints um,
Yeah.
of their art, which is a great thing. And we're not trying to knock it at all. But you could buy that NFT right then, and then it would be up on your wall already decorated. You're not going to have to manage getting that picture and that frame home. You're not going to have to find a spot on your wall anymore. You can, I think it enables a more fluid transaction. Hold on. I had a cough. I don't know if I coughed on air, but whatever.
Nope, you didn't. You're
Um,
safe.
it enables a more fluid transaction, especially in the picture art world. Sculpture art world, a little harder, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
they would have
Well,
to
if
do
it's
3D
something,
models, right?
yeah, well, something tangible that, I mean, most people do enjoy that, being able to touch something and see it whenever they want, and um, to have it in the world. And so that's, I don't know, I think that's super cool. It gives it, um, it instead of just having to remember what an NFT is, you can look at your wall and see it. You're like, that's one. I can see it. It's real. I can touch it. It's
That
nice.
is correct. That would be true. You would have that. I would think you would have that feeling. As we were talking, it would be cool even if you could do a display. You can do 3D in it,
Mhm.
so we'll come back and talk about that. But if you had a display that gave like a canvas feel, that would be
Yeah.
insanely cool. So that like even like just what you're saying, where you can touch it, it would even have the art kind of feel. Now, not a moldy one like that would change according to the strokes. That would be insane.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
If the texture on the screen changed according to the strokes of the artwork, oh, that would be the perfect synergy, right? You would
That
have
would
the
be,
exact
that's the
recreation.
next thing, right?
Yeah, I mean they
That
can
would be
kind of do it. I'm thinking through some of the tech that they have out there. They can kind of do it, but no, it probably wouldn't be cheap. And right now,
no.
these picture frames, the cheapest one was 300. The most expensive that they sell is 600. Maybe 7 or 8. I was looking on their website, like newer versions, but 3 to 6 is where you're at. 20. It's like 15 inches to 27 inch. So, all right, we're gonna. Oh, now I got to remember how to do intermission. So, we're gonna leave you on CryptoKitties.
Yay.
Um,
That sounds
I want to try to. You think this one? No. Let's visit the catalog real quick. Which? Oh, shiny. It's just so funny because they have fancy and shiny.
nice.
Exclusive. We'll go to the. Oh my gosh, 2 ETH. Is that seriously it?
Whoa.
See,
Googly
this it loses its appeal when you see the same thing over and over and over. I don't. I get it. Whoa, 50. Okay, we're gonna go here on this crazy one, but um. Oh, it's only when I hover over it. How much do I want for this one? It's not even for sale. So why?
egg. They're like, you can't have this one.
40 ETH though.
That's pure insanity.
Yeah. Okay. So 40 ETH. $128,000.
That's almost as much as my house.
All right. So we're gonna leave you on this $100,000 crypto kitty. Oh yeah,
Yep.
cool. It says it up in the corner. Let me go back to that other one. Nope, not for sale. Actually,
Oh, it
I'm
says
gonna
no
leave us on
wallet.
this. Oh, what the diamond one? There we go. My son would like that one. Genesis. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
See ya.
do the music.
Oh, I'll wait.
Live stream music. Oh, I gotta turn it on here. There we go. All right, we'll be back. 5 minutes. Looks like 8:40.
Okay. See ya.
You there?
I'm here.
You're here. It's 42. I guess just like everything else, we're late. But that was 5 minutes from 47, so I guess I should cut us short a little bit.
We're consistent.
Consistently late. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, these... I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're going to make 100K off of... Whoa, that one's cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I told Rick we needed to get in on this.
See, these are a little bit more recent. But it's... Everybody needs to understand, it really is just playing a silly game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you spend time on any game, you need to seriously consider looking at metaverse crypto type games. Get paid for spending your time on those applications and stuff. Cash out. Don't keep rolling it either. You know what I mean? Because you never know when this thing's not going to be popular. But this is one of the originals, so I imagine that it'll be around for a while. Let's see. What do they got here? Whoa!
Beep, beep, beep. Sorry, sound effects.
Well, I had them for real, so I don't know if everybody got them themselves.
A little bit. That's fun. So it gives you a little video of your cat being born out of an egg. Hey, that was me. I didn't.
These cats are like how I program.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, I knew it existed. I never really looked into it.
That's funny.
And then people do. Oh, there's whole YouTube channels dedicated around how you breed these things. Makes sense. So
yeah.
Yeah. So like some of our side projects. This is interesting. It's a very interesting concept. So back to now we've covered collectibles and the artwork side. All right. There should be no question on that. It's just exactly as it sounds, and the collectibles are really just the art, and then you can use them in games. That's kind of like why they're collectibles. So one of the cool things currently, there are many limited edition artwork pieces in circulation with scope for program. Whatever. I'm done. So that word.
Program. What word?
This one right here, guys.
Oh, programmability.
Yeah, she said it beautifully. So, and then one of the cool things is because it's on the blockchain, remember you can track everything on the blockchain, especially a public one. Because private ones you wouldn't be able to see unless you're part of that private network. Users can find the complete history of the artwork, especially who's owned it and how much it was sold for. So you can see everything about it. There's no, this is going to kill. It's still, I guess it still wouldn't kill. They do a lot of money laundering through art. That is like something as old as time, right? Because there is no way to really assess a value to the piece of art. Now, I think governments nowadays have gotten a little better at they have a rough guess. Kind of like what I remember when I was younger, it was kind of like this person sold a car to me for $1 so I don't have to pay taxes. Well, now the states are like, there's a reasonable amount. I mean, this is not family members. We're talking about like person to person sale. And I remember those things happening back in the day. And
that sounds familiar.
Yeah. It wasn't odd. And so the states fixed that problem. Because I remember just a few years ago, they asked me some question. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh yeah, that's why you can't do that. Like, what's the value? I was like, I don't even know if this thing works. I didn't pay, I paid like $20 for it. They're like, well, it was like a jet ski or something. They got to assess the value of what it could be worth. And I'm like, that's stupid. But it was, it was to close that gap. So Here, with being able to trace the full ownership, and when we say ownership, all it is an ID of a wallet. So unless you know whose wallet it is, you don't really know who the owner is. But then you can see all the prices. So then it'll kind of like button up that, money laundering side a little bit more too. So with artwork, but I think I think this NFT side will really help regular artists, not necessarily your big giant artists because they already have a good platform. I think your smaller artists will benefit from NFTs a lot because I've seen a lot of cool stuff at like Comic Cons and stuff where people do their own art and things like that. And that's where it gets tricky with licensing. Can you draw Iron Man? Well, I think he's coming into public domain soon. But can you draw some of those Marvel characters that Disney owns? I don't know. And well, yeah, and then sell it, and they do it already, and then now it would be able to be traced back to you. So then this is something that you need to think about too. So just make up your own stuff. I'd rather see somebody's own superhero than the same ones we've already been looking at. So I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. But just like draw your own stuff. Yeah, exactly. Just like Darcy's, our soon to be NFT that we'll reveal next week. It'll always be next week, by the way.
You keep giving our secrets away.
Yeah. So, moving on. Artwork we've beat into the ground. Event tickets and music and media. This one, insanely exciting too. I didn't forget you, singers and musicians and people that make the wonderful sounds of the world.
That's awesome. I like that.
Well, it is. I mean, it is because like even crap music, still somebody likes it. They liked it, or okay, if you made music that you don't like, and it's not that you made it and you liked it, and then you chose you didn't like it eventually. If you actually make music that you like, this is horrible, then shame on you. But for everybody else, I do think even bad music. A lot of people knock on Nickelback, like they're a common band that gets kicked, and I think some of their music's all right. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if I had to choose between some of the stuff I don't like, it's like I'd choose that. So,
my neighbor likes them.
You're like, your neighbor likes them. You're like, I don't.
I've never really listened. Like, I'm totally indifferent to them. I mean, I remember when they came out and they were on MTV, or maybe it was VH1 back when there was actually videos. And, I remember not hating them, but I was also like, I'm not going to buy an album. But, I'm like that with a lot of music. So.
Yeah. But, and then there's also more that goes into why people don't, like, I guess society uses people as, those types of, like,
well, the fact that they're still around, even though everyone seems to hate them, they're still around.
I was gonna say they could be like not nice people or something. I'm not commenting on that. Purely just on the sounds that come from their instruments and voice. I don't know. That's like sometimes people, we don't know all the stories and everything. But
I have a friend that didn't like Bruce Springsteen, which I'm not a huge fan, but he just he doesn't like his voice, and I've just always like of all the things. I don't know. I just never realized that people just didn't like Bruce Springsteen's voice. I thought it was just like the music. I think some of his stuff's okay. I don't know.
Just depends.
So.
Depends.
Yep.
It's just like I think he would fall in the same category as Nickelback for me. It's like like Bon Jovi, something like that. I that's the way I'm thinking of all that. It's just kind of like it's all right background music, and I know it's popular for like bands that are playing at bars and stuff like that. So, all right. So we didn't forget about all you guys. Event tickets and music and media. This is another huge avenue for NFTs. And I think the event tickets is one of the cooler things, being a person that went to a lot of festivals and concerts. Having a digital ticket that you can transfer more easily would be awesome. And when I say transfer, there's always times when you need to sell stuff. This isn't for the scalpers, but it could be. I mean, it is scalping technically. It's just being able to transfer it without having to go through like StubHub or, I mean, I get that they're providing a service and there's a reason they charge their fees, but they're making a lot of money off of everybody. And I think getting an NFT ticket would maybe help that, but you still got to have a platform to transfer it on. So then StubHub's still around. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's interesting. But what's really cool is they can associate extra metadata with that ticket. So now you'll know your the number, not only your seat. So your seat was one avenue of being able to tell how valuable that ticket was, right? Where you're at in the stadium or the venue, right? Mm-hmm. That's what really determined ticket prices. But now they can add another level of where I believe the artist will be able to get a little more connection with their fans and supporters and be able to make a little bit more money for themselves too. They can include extra metadata into it, which gives you possibly access to extra things, just extra events. So especially if you have metaverse, if you have an avatar, say in Decentraland, there was a lot of famous DJs that did a New Year's Eve party. And if you had a ticket to that, say you had a ticket to their regular show, and maybe you bought this special package, right, that included regular show and then their New Year's Eve party. And you don't even got to leave your house to go see your favorite person and listen to them perform in the metaverse. But it's really similar to going to a concert where you get the unique sound. You don't get that feel. There is something about music where you get that feel inside of you from, but if you had a really nice stereo system at your house, you'd get the same feel. So, but you could gain access to that extra level of connectivity. Maybe you gain access to some sort of community message board because you have this NFT. I'm not really sure how they verify that you have it, because part of it is you are anonymous in a way. You have a wallet ID. You have to tell them your wallet ID so that they can verify that that wallet owns that NFT. Not really sure how this works yet on that side of verifying. But the idea behind it is it's possible to link extra things to that NFT, and then you could transfer that ownership and that extra stuff. So even after you've used all those concerts, maybe somebody's going to give you, I'm just going to throw out money amounts. You paid $50 for this special ticket and you've went to everything. You've done all the events, but there's still access to the community message boards and, a little more intimate access to that artist. And maybe while you're not as big of a fan anymore, maybe some new fan is, and they would like that access because maybe you can't get it anymore. And that's what's really cool, because the artist could make it limited edition. So then they, that would give more incentive to sell something that, you might not use anymore. So really good with NFTs. And if you had to keep track of all this paperwork, if it was real paper, there's good odds that it could be forged, and it could also be lost. If I had to keep track of okay, here's my message board passwords, but it's associated to my account. That's something that's always interesting, where it's like, oh, I want to give somebody else access, but I can't transfer it because it's already linked to my email, and then they don't allow you to change it or something, and then you gotta kill off that email. That's why everybody has like millions of emails. So this is where the event tickets and music and media can come in. The same idea, not just the ticket side, but even if you sold a song, you could do that. So maybe this buying the artist's new release song digitally, you also get an NFT with it, and you were one of the first 100 to do it. So then you get, that month they're going to do a special show for you guys online. I'm sure it's going to be online, because the resources required to do an online show versus a real venue in a real place is far less. They can do it in their room or their own studio that they have at their house. Mm-hmm. And so, and provide the same level of sound to everybody and the same level of engagement that the probably even a better level of engagement than they would at a concert. But there is a distinct difference. I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't still go to concerts. That is, that is another way to consume that type of media, right? And it's still viable. I think you should go to concerts if you like that type of thing. So gaming, pretty common, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just anything. One of the cool things that we realized that we learned when we were preparing yesterday was so in the collectible world, this would also could apply. When you're in gaming, you're collecting things, and say you collect a sword, right?
Oh.
Remember this example, Darcy?
Yep.
You want to tell the story? Are you prepared for this one?
No.
Okay.
But, well, I mean, I do recall
Okay.
there was what was it? If it was the sorry, I wasn't prepared, but I believe when we were talking about it yesterday, there was you could basically have a sword that could change its colors or whatever depending on the weather, and we had talked about making those kind of changes for mood. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, and again, I like to reiterate for the people that may be just joining us or aren't familiar with, I like to put Darcy on the spot because a lot of people like to hear, a more real answer, right? Instead of we're reading here and we're just, regurgitating. What a wonderful word. Just repeating these formal definitions, but to get it straight in your head, sometimes it needs to be more real, I guess, a real explanation. Mm-hmm. So,
yep. And again, I'm used to it.
Yep. So in a game, you can have any kind of clothing, any kind of accessory, and we're going to use what most games are is you would have like a sword, right? Because you're going to go do some sort of fighting. I'm trying to think of like Animal Crossing. What do you collect in there? Do you have like a special hoe? Because I like Animal Crossing. It's kind of a cool game. But special sword's easy. What'd you say?
You said a special hoe? It was like a gardening game or
no, that's when you repeat it, it sounds dirty. When I said it, it sounded like something that people farm with. But
yeah, I didn't. Well, that's what I heard. I'm just curious because I don't play that game.
But then it got me thinking about so for those that don't know what Animal Crossing is, you have this like little house and you wander around these little villages and you collect, you like farm and you collect things off trees. And I don't really know what they do in the newer versions. I played like the original one a long time ago, but it's just like, any Facebook game or any kind of silly web browser game. But it's pretty in-depth. I mean, there's a lot to it, and you hang out with your friends and they come and look at your farm and, your house, and you have accessories inside your house. I think you have different rooms. So now I'm picturing this Animal Crossing avatar running around with a hoe. Not the farming one, but another Animal Crossing avatar following them.
That's awesome.
It is so funny. And now that game, Nintendo is not going to be very happy with you. Their super family-friendly game just got super dirty.
I just didn't know what that game was.
Yeah, so like on the corner of your farm, you're going to have like a hoe now standing there, just kind of like waiting. Wonderful. So,
yep.
Now back to the sword. So you're in a game that you wander around and you use sword and you chop things, people, trees, whatever. Maybe your crops in your farm, who knows? And what your sword is an NFT, right? Because you played CryptoKitties and you were able to acquire this awesome ninja sword right here. You were able to acquire the sword, and since it's an NFT, one of the things that they've introduced is you're able to receive some metadata from the outside world. So you could build your NFT to, let's just say, go to weather.com. I wouldn't suggest building it against a website that could go away or a link that could go away, because then your whole thing would break down. So you would have to resolve that. It's something, have to be another persistent thing.
Mhm.
Um, but weather.com is not going anywhere. And you could get your local weather forecast, and your sword could change color depending on your local weather forecast. So your NFT, okay, let's do it this way. Let's not do a sword. So we have our wonderful picture here that's sitting on our wall or our mantle, and depending on the weather, it could change the color within the background of the picture. It's not going to do like crazy things. I mean, I guess it could, but some of the cooler ones, like the 3D ones, maybe they totally morph into something else, depending on outside data. That would make that NFT really cool.
And
So,
really expensive,
and really
but it
expensive,
sounds
because
really cool.
somebody had to put a lot of time programming that. You got
Mhm.
to understand,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
code
for
being
sure.
written in the background, right?
Yep, totally worth it.
Yeah, give us some work. Um, so that's how in gaming you can buy, we saw Cryptokitties, you can buy accessories, clothes, things for your house, whatever. Whatever you want to do. And then you can transfer it. That's what's beautiful, because you couldn't currently do it because it's tied to your account. Or transferring it, there was always a risk of getting robbed, right? That's the other thing. You had to do like the honor system. I mean, they'd have a trade system where you put it in and both people got to hit the button at the same time. But there's been a lot of bad deals going on. So that's kind of like all the digital side. Now the real world side. Um, you can do, since it's just a digital asset or a certificate of a certificate of ownership. Um, you could have your deed. Um, you could have the title to your car be an NFT, and you would have the full history. You'd be able to look up the full history of ownership on that, when it was made, all that stuff, all the metadata that could go along with it, which would be really awesome. Accident history, it would be tied directly to that car. There'd be no question. Poor Carfax or Fox or whatever it is, they would have they would probably just be another site that just reports on that data, because you gotta dig that data out of the blockchain, right?
Right.
So it's not like you
Yep.
if you we'll look at what one of those blocks look like on the blockchain at one point, and it's not pretty. So yeah, that's where you'd use an oracle like Chainlink or something like that, um to look at to analyze the blockchain for that type of stuff. um Identity. So NFTs could be driver's licenses. They could be any kind of proof of identity, because if it was minted by your local government, just like you get driver's license or state ID cards or whatever, that would be on the blockchain, and it would be in your wallet. I don't know why you would transfer it. So it probably would have some rules on it to where it couldn't be transferred, I guess. I don't know. That'd be interesting, right? Out of your identity wallet. I would keep that separate from your crypto wallet.
Mhm.
Um,
Probably a good idea.
yeah, you would want multiple wallets. Think of that. It's not like you just have one for everything. You want cold storage too. You want things offline, just by the way. So this might be something that's offline. But then you'd be able to show it on your phone, because you would just tie your phone to the wallet. It's not like you need to have the wallet on your phone. Um, so then, identity is another way. Domain names would be the same thing, certificate of ownership. So who cares? And memes. Um, I guess if you want to own the meme, because I assume you get money for it. It's just like art. So the meme would be art, I guess. That's the way I associate this idea of a meme, because I don't know how they get paid. Like if somebody shows it or shares it, like how does that actually work? So that's interesting. But these are some really, really good examples of what NFTs can be used for. Again, if we go to somewhere else, look, they just repeat the same thing: music, art, video game, trading cards, collectible items, big sports moments. Video clips. Okay. This one we didn't talk about. So this would be a way for networks or like the NFL to sell highlight video clips. Um that's interesting because people would like to own those. And then you could license those out to, the networks as they want to make a, greatest moments in sports history documentary or something, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of an interesting take on it. The best catches, things like that. If you're talking about football, anything that you like, because I mean, it's what you like. So, and there's could be money to be made off of it. It just depends on if people wanted to use it. Memes. I'm still gonna skip over that. Like I can't get more interested. The more valuable the meme, most valuable is the Doge meme. I don't know. Virtual fashion. That'd be like buying the accessories. Yeah, for your
I don't know. I saw
avatars.
something online where like there was like clothes that you could buy and you could so in your pictures you would have these clothes. They'd be
Mm-hmm.
like really fancy things and have different um pictures on it, things um that changed colors. I don't know, it was pretty cool.
So it looks like they made some special. Is it this where they made special fabric that can show these pictures?
No,
Okay,
I
I think
mean,
I know what you're saying. It's an
yeah,
overlay over your pictures.
yeah. And
It's
I'm
this
I'm not sure
probably.
if it's a exact same thing, but yeah, I had seen um a YouTuber had was checking trying it out and she put on these she had rented like all these clothes and was in front of the camera and the clothes were moving. It was actually very cool. Um I'm not an influencer, obviously, so that's not I didn't see the value
Oh,
for
I think
most
I just saw it.
people. But
Oh, I can totally, yeah. I'm with. I'm just gonna do what Elon says. Just accept the cookies. Why are they even asking us? It's so much work. It's like because they made some law and now they gotta ask us.
oh,
It's just like stupid.
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because they just used to not tell us they did it. Now they gotta tell us. So just go back to not telling us. Who cares? It's more annoying. Yep, just like this, right?
Yep.
Yep, this is exactly what I thought. We're doing it. I
Oh
pay
yeah.
for my avatar overlay,
Oh, I
so
don't. I use the free
I
stuff.
know you, and it works really well. It's excellent. So not enough great things can be said about animes. So yeah, I see a market in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a good idea. I'm glad you brought that up. That was a really good one. I wasn't
Some-
aware of it, but it makes sense.
Sometimes my YouTube spirals pan out.
All right, so this is just talking about um just where everything's streamed from, but more about the NFTs for music and yeah, scarcity making music feel unique again. I totally think so.
Mhm.
Because you get access to special stuff. If they don't make it unique, if they sell out and if they cheese out, because that's going to be the trick, right? If you have an artist that makes something rare at the beginning and then doesn't and then changes it, right?
Mhm.
Um, you got a problem. So it'll be really interesting to navigate, right? And this is the first release they can of a given track or album, and then they can release number 10, 50. So then, do you want to say you own the number one? You know what I mean? So very interesting. A lot of it is status, but we like to compete against each other, so just cave to it, I guess.
Sure do.
This is awesome. So for the art people, um, you can draw in 3D space.
So
So
cool.
Where do we went over to? Oh, it was an actual brush tilt tutorial,
Mm,
right? Wasn't
yep.
it?
Yep. Yeah, it was. I think it's awesome.
If you're not familiar with this is a VR painting program. That is pretty awesome. Where's their cool little video? Is it just any of these? Oh, I think this one's it.
Walk around your art.
Oh. I don't know how much trouble we get in for showing videos, so we'll just skip through it, right? Look at that. Isn't that cool, guys? Folks? So, um, you know, you make these cool, awesome little worlds that can be sold. It would be awesome to show on your wall, but it's even cooler to walk around in if you are in the VR space. And if you're planning on getting into it, you know, you can buy one now and then get into it later. So
It would be cool
NFTs.
to have something like that that was a haunted house.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Where somebody
No.
makes a haunted house and then you can just like go into it with your
Wow.
VR.
Wow, that is okay. There you go. So you build the haunted house in VR, which I'm sure they already have one. You know, they don't have tons of
Uh-huh.
stuff, but somebody's probably already built that, right? Let's assume they did. But now you tie it to NFTs and
Mhm.
you can buy that haunted house or you gain access to it during Halloween. And then you could sell that house to other people. So not only could you go into it, they also would want to build it so that it could be displayed. And so you would
Yeah.
have it on your wall, and somebody would walk by and be like, "What's that? Oh, that's a haunted house. You want to go check it out?" And you know, in theory, you have two headsets at your house, so you're already rich, by the way.
Right.
But yeah, once things come down into normal people consumer areas, that would be awesome, right? Go
Yeah.
into your virtual world. That's like kind
Yeah.
of when we were looking at those mini dioramas, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
You would buy your mini diorama that somebody did in Blender. Please, people, if you do these things, we would love to see it and we'd love to talk to
If
you on this channel. You know, that would be not because you've heard it from us, but if you're already doing it, we'd love to interview you and get your thoughts on, you know, these types of things. But yeah, that would be awesome, really. That'd
would
be
be
cool to
so
be able to
cool.
step into. It would really be cool to step into. Remember what we were looking at, right? We were looking at this peaceful, serene world that it was raining and there was ducks floating around the pond and there was a little old kind of cabin. It was a little rundown and it was just really nice and pleasant and the sound was there and everything. And then you see that on your wall and like, I just want to go to this world today. So you put on
Mhm.
your VR headset and you get to go to your NFT world. That would be cool. And then you have it decorated with your NFTs the way you want. Okay, now I can kind of
Well,
see the appeal.
I now I'm starting to think like, what if didn't, you weren't the only, so if you weren't the only person that had access to it. So there's,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Well, you're
but
just describing the
you had it,
metaverse now.
well, yeah, but now you have it up on your wall, and like every once in a while, you could see somebody like poking out of a window. Like
Wow.
all of a sudden, it's like, is it haunted or is there like obviously the person couldn't see your home, but you could see people in there
Wouldn't that be
just from
cool? You
your,
have a camera on the top of your picture frame
yeah.
and you could see into the person's home, but it would be a view like you're a little tiny person seeing up into another world. That would
Yeah.
be, oh my gosh, we just,
It's so
whoever
creepy.
makes this, or if you already have it, hopefully it's not like 50 ETH or something like that. Well, it should be.
Yeah,
It
it
really,
totally
it
should
really should be
be.
better than like these Bored
Yeah.
Ape
Can
things.
we
I
just
mean,
like check it out? Like
yeah, I just want to,
yeah, we
I
just
want to
want
have
to check it
access
out.
to it. Yeah,
Just for a
exactly.
minute. Yeah, can we like poke at like
That's
wander
exactly.
around?
That would,
That'd be
okay.
so cool.
So let's break that down real quick. You just described a really cool NFT. So it would be, let's go with the haunted house example. That's very
Mm-hmm.
good. Everybody has a picture in their head what a haunted house is, right?
Yep.
2 stories, kind of rickety. You know, like if you
Kind
ever
of.
saw the movie The Burbs, just like that. That's like the,
That's awesome. I was totally thinking The Conjuring, but The Burbs works too.
well, it's a little more family friendly, but it probably
Yeah.
wasn't. You know, if I watch it again nowadays, it'd be like, wow, that was a little bad. But
I don't think the way that the house looked was much different though between the two. I think we're
But yeah,
still.
yeah, you went so much more dark. Like that'd be scary. I was a little more, or we could even be more kid friendly, like Monster House or something like that.
Although a lot more people died in the Burbs than in the Conjuring. So anyway,
So you have a haunted house, whatever your idealistic haunted house is, or the one that you could afford to buy in this case. Um, Ooh, I was just thinking like institutions, mental institutions. That'd just be so. If you're into this haunted, I know you guys are into that haunted, scary stuff. Oh man, that'd be crazy. Now I'm thinking of more like serene.
you're like the Haunted Mansion. Like, can we just do?
Yeah.
for
Okay, the
Halloween?
haunted mansion at Disney. Yeah, but okay, let's continue on. So you got this haunted house, right?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go back so that if you happen to be looking, you have instead of this bored ape, you have a black background and you have a really cool scene with a haunted house. And what Darcy was describing, which would be totally awesome, you'd be able to load up that's an actual NFT world that you'd be able to load up the program in your VR headset and you'd be able to go into the house and explore the haunted house. Right?
Yep, exactly.
Now, where you even took it to the next, like it's like Beetlejuice. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just
exactly.
crazy. So the next level is not only is she in the virtual world, she can have her friends in. Cool. That's not the next level. That was just the build up.
Mm-hmm.
So she has her friends, and you can invite people. I don't know how, like, what are we talking about? Randoms, I don't know. If it's somebody else that purchased it, so then you got to share the house with other people, like roommates. That'd be kind of funny too.
Right, that's funny.
But here was the mind blower. She takes off her VR headset. She goes about her day, walking around her house. She walks by this picture and she can actually see the other people interacting inside the haunted house. So if they had a flashlight, you could see the lights kind of going through the rooms, through the windows. If they looked out a window, you would see a face. That would be insanely cool.
That would be so cool.
And because I mean, if they took it a step further, if this smart picture was like had a touch screen, because then that would make it even more expensive. So then you can navigate, like kind of pinch and pull and twist and turn the house. You know what I mean? In the picture to resize it, reshape it. That would be pretty cool too. Like kind of zoom in
there.
And that's where we were talking with the camera on top of the picture frame. Mm-hmm. Then you could wave back and it would they would just see this big face in the house view. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. Obviously you wouldn't want it to be able to show your house, because that would be kind of weird if people could see into your house. I mean, I guess if you wanted it, that would be something that I'm sure people would want, right? So that would be cool.
Well, now I'm just thinking of like all those shows, I don't know if they were shows, but early on, I'm assuming people still do it, but they would just have their cameras on all day, just like in their regular life, and you just watch them living in their room. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, you could totally do that. How cool would that be? You just have like a at first I was thinking of a stadium. You could have a stadium and you can see who's there and who's watching. But then I went really dark and I was thinking of like peep shows where I think like doors would open up and you'd be like, oh, somebody's here, and then you could put on your little show.
Good thing we marked this not safe for kids.
Well, I wasn't saying that kind of show. I didn't mean that kind of show. I just meant,
I know.
You're like, oh, now you know if somebody's actually watching, so then you can be like, okay, I guess now's a good time to like eat some popcorn and watch TV. Whatever. I don't know. I never watched the shows. I don't know what people do.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. Oh, okay, I get you that somebody's in the house, now it's time to sit down and watch what they do.
Yeah, or you're like, if you're the person giving the show, you could see that there's nobody there, so you're just like, there's no point and now I just do whatever. You see some people showing up and you're like, oh, I guess now it's like I'll do something here.
So you're saying that you wow. No, no, no.
Obviously, I don't know
No,
what I'm
no.
doing.
No, no, no. I like this now. So you've put another twist on our haunted house, and we're gonna end probably here in like 8 minutes or so. Um, so this NFT haunted house picture that's sitting on the wall, or just house now,
Mhm.
it is a viewing party for a lot of people to come to, and then they can watch the person that has the NFT.
Yep.
That is interesting because I could it's exactly like streaming, right? It's the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
idea. But it's now you're just watching them do their stuff and talk, but you're like in this little metaverse world, and then you're watching like kind of like on TV. But I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. Like you're these little people in the giant world, and then you're kind of like their pets, and it'd be cool if they interacted with you that way or
That would
something.
be hilarious. They feed you. Now all of a sudden, what were those little things called that you said? The little that the guy kept it alive for 20 years. The
Tamagotchi or something like
Yeah, but now you're the Tamagotchi.
that. Yeah,
And the other person has to like feed you and do whatever.
Tamagotchi. One
That's
of these little
awesome.
guys.
Yeah, I didn't
This is the
realize.
new age version.
Oh,
Tamagotchi, oldest, longest.
96.
I
I
guess
could
I won't
barely
find
compare
the.
myself in 96.
Well, that was just when it came out, but I don't know. There was somebody that kept them for a long time. What's the longest? Oh, here we go. Oh, I was like 145 years. Let's see, how long do you got it? Launch 96, 97. Yeah, blah,
They're
blah,
only
blah.
cute 20 to 30%.
Most players see their digital pets die within a week or two. I
So what happens? Do you have to buy a new one, or do you
think you
get
just
like a new one
restart.
inside the?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it just restarts.
That would be awesome. That's great marketing. When it dies, you have to go buy a new one.
Yeah, I don't see. I just remember hearing about it that it was like some insane amount. But your world, I was thinking more of these types, but that is an awesome idea avenue that this type of thing could go, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that would be awesome.
I would totally. I don't even know what price tag you put on it because you could get a lot of money, and I know the level that it would take to create something like that, so it'd be insanely expensive too. It's not like building a full video game, so that you would have that part in your. You would.
Well, maybe if it's a haunted house or whatever, you could rent it instead. All of a sudden, it becomes a little more.
Well, you pay for a ticket. Yeah, it'd be a
Yeah,
subscription based thing. I mean, everything's
yeah.
subscription based now.
So
Um,
then it becomes more affordable for
it
average
does,
people.
it
So
does,
they
but you don't
can't.
want you want to make it exclusive though too.
Yeah.
So it's
So at
interesting.
Halloween, it's super cheap. Everybody can get in. Or no, I guess Halloween would be the time when it should be more expensive.
I don't know, but you're buying it just to have it. It's not even like for a certain time. I guess that's when you'd show it off. That'd be cool if you could decorate your
Well,
virtual
I mean,
world.
to let like a lot of people just get in,
Oh,
like,
oh,
so then
okay. I
you
get what
like
you're saying.
rent it. So all of a sudden, it's like,
It's
okay, well,
exclusive all year round, and then it's like during that time, then it
yeah, just
helps
for
pay
like
for
a
it.
week.
You know,
Yeah. So it's like an Airbnb.
because I mean, for the people
Private
that
house.
haven't, yeah, for the people that haven't done 3D modeling or programming before, we're talking about a pretty large undertaking. I mean, again, it's not going to be years, but for them to build a digital haunted house, first of all, you're going to have a master skill set, right? That's like just given. And then that probably took like 10 to 15 years to craft. I mean, maybe 5 nowadays, like, because you got YouTube videos and you can accelerate your learning, and software is tons better than it used to be. So, you got 5 years, 10 years building up the skill set. So to crank out, I would say if you put maximum effort, concentration, it'd probably take you a month, right? I mean, that's like really working hard, no other job to make a good one. And then somebody's going to have to make a platform that integrates it with VR headsets. And I mean, you could add that in with Unity, but you're not going to want to manage all that as an artist, right? You're going to just care about the Blender side of it. So you're going to have somebody that's already built the platform to mount these two. So there's going to be a lot of effort into getting it going. Once you get it, once you have the platform, then it's just artists can be able to do it. But that's one of the things that people got to understand when they see like it's going to cost you $100 a month to subscribe to this, because there was a lot of time and effort and skill that went into it. It's just like crafting anything in real life. Darcy and I thought that live streaming was going to be so simple. It's not. It's not just pushing a few buttons and saying you're live. I guess it is if you just do it on your phone. But then even then, like, I don't even think we posted about this until like 2 minutes before we went live, and it's still not even on our Facebooks or whatever, whatever's out there nowadays. So
you just made us sound real old. Whatever's out there these days.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just because it doesn't matter. It's like the landscape's constantly changing, so it's more important to choose where you're going to mount up to, and then what technology you want to follow. And this one's really, really cool. This NFT stuff, I'm telling you, I think it can be cool. I don't think it has to be crazy expensive, but there's going to be an expense to building some of these really cool worlds. So Darcy's going to do it though.
Yep, one day.
No, tomorrow.
Oh man,
I was
already thinking about other stuff that I'm building. I couldn't sleep. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's creepy, huh? Have that guy in the haunted house.
Oh, one of those weird walker things with their legs upside down and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of, if you're in VR space, like if you have a VR headset on, I'm already feeling in my stomach this person climbing to the edge of this and getting ready to look over.
Yeah.
It simulates you're up. I mean, you're in infinite space, and yeah, I would actually probably get down on my hands and knees just like this, because I don't like walking by edges. And so I always feel like I'm gonna fall off. So cliff edges are not for me. And so this is how I would be in a VR world. It's just kind of funny. That's why I clicked on it.
That's awesome. You're like, wait, that's me.
Yeah. And if you haven't experienced VR, it's something worth doing. Seek out, there are local VR places, but do some research, because they're not all created the same. I've seen some, like, there's this one in South Bend that has like, they did it so that it's a giant open space and everybody can play in it. So it's not that you're just your own little pod. Like what I currently have is a VR headset, and I play within a boxed in space. I got sensors up in the corner of the room, and whatever size I can go up, up, I don't know, 30 feet or something, but you're stuck in a room. Well, what they did was they have it so that it's just open free play. So, I think it's a shooter thing or something. I don't know. But go explore those types of things and find one that fits for you, and find something that seems interesting. Try VR. It is worth the experience. I think it's still a little expensive to try, but relatively speaking, it's not that bad. You get a half hour for whatever, $50-$60, which is the same as like an escape room or, whatever. And you could do an escape room in VR if you really wanted. But I would say ask the people there to give you a tour, whatever games or experiences they think would show you the best experience of VR. And that'll help explain what the metaverse is. You know what I mean? Because you'll have a better understanding why somebody would want to do what you just said. Go into this haunted house and explore it, because it really is like you're really there. All your senses are pretty much tricked. And so if they can introduce the sense of smell, which I think they've tried, that would really tie it together.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm totally gonna check it out. I'm in.
Yep. Yep. They have cool experiences. So.
It is great.
I guess that's it. What are we doing? We're gonna do is, of course, we're gonna try to do another Saturday show next week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
we'll have our
And it's
new endings, right? We've talked about it before, I think, Darcy, right?
yep,
So we'll try to start implementing that, right?
yeah.
So what's next week? We've covered NFTs. I think we've talked enough about what they are. What's
Well,
next?
we'll unveil our the one that we're gonna make our NFT out of, right? Our picture. And
Mm-hmm.
what are we gonna start making? Start making one?
Yeah.
Making it?
Are we gonna talk about the components? Okay. So next week we're gonna if you tune in, there's a
If
chance.
you don't tune in, we'll probably still do it anyway.
No, I was gonna say if you tune in, there's a chance you may be one of our lucky viewers that get our NFT. One of the copies of our NFT.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, is that an old comment? Does it recycle
Yep.
chats?
No, it's from today.
He's already complaining. He was giving me a hard time today. Craig,
Yep.
he
I
can't
think
hear
that's
me over his machine again. This is
yeah, it seems
upsetting.
like a personal problem.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So maybe he needs to turn his machine down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what to do because I
How to
thought
fix
from
it.
our recording, we'll listen to us, and Grandma didn't say anything that like there was a problem with the sound.
Yeah.
So from our testing, but sorry, Craig, you can't get it. But so next week there's a chance if you tune in that you could get one of our NFTs.
Mhm.
Um,
Hand drawn
hand
by
drawn.
yours truly.
Yep. Yep. Yours truly, Darcy,
Mm.
not Jeff.
Well, but you also helped the inspiration and the
Oh, I think it's on my other profile. I was like, you want to see my NFT I started working on? I'll tell you
I
guys what
didn't see it. I
uh
haven't seen it.
yeah, I'll describe it. I just switched Miwa and I were doing we were looking at, right? No, yeah, it wasn't. We were looking at the Chicago Institute of Art because they have all their free stuff, and I found a Van Gogh, the bedroom, and
Mhm.
I just changed it like darker. I just
That's
like
awesome.
shaded. I put a filter on it that made it darker. I was like, "Yep, that's my NFT. It's mine now." I customized it.
I
So
did this. That's
it,
awesome.
it, it was it
I
was
didn't know that's what so I actually drew something
yeah. I know
and I
you
was
went
really there to change it.
all in. It's gonna
I
be
did.
awesome.
Yep, I put myself out there. I made some art that can be judged now and
So, yeah, next week we'll talk about the components that go into making an NFT and what you need to be able to have one. If you want to get ahead of the game, read about MetaMask and wallets. So, because we're gonna probably, from what I've seen, we're probably gonna try to do it on Polygon's network. So you definitely want a wallet that can use Polygon, which MetaMask can. But always keep in mind if you have online wallets and places to hold your cryptocurrency, there is a chance you could lose it. So that's why having offline storage is important too for keeping your assets, your digital assets safe. Um, for our NFT, it's probably going to be on a test network, so you won't even need to. Sorry to give away it, but it's probably not even going to be on a real network for a minute. So the one that we give away next week will probably just be a test because we don't want people that have never done it before screwing up and something happening to where it costs money or something like that.
yeah, we
So
definitely don't want that.
we'll probably be doing test stuff for a little while. You just it's like a setting in your wallet and you switch over to a test network. And then I think we'll be able to transfer them around and play with them. But I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them. Like you'd be able to see it on your digital picture frame. And then I was thinking, we could just build a stupid little Raspberry Pi with an LCD screen that would show anything. It's a mini computer, right? And then you put a picture frame around it, and then you have your own NFT
Ta-da!
thing. Yeah, it's like ta-da! It's a little jank, but
Hey.
it'd be a way to do it because it's just computer, and then it'd be just like this. You just zoom in or something.
Yep.
So next week we'll be talking about how to get your MetaMask wallet, a little more in depth about what it is, how it works, and then we'll show how to do Minty. Right? I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm not sure. We'll figure out. Here's our create spot. How to build layer 2 NFTs with Polygon and in a planetary file system. So, and then we have this for Minty, but this is Ethereum, and Ethereum's crazy expensive. And then here are more NFT tutorials that we'll talk about and maybe get into one of these pretty deeply. But just keep in mind, the only thing you guys got to remember for people that want an NFT or want any crypto, MetaMask is something handy to have around if you're not going to keep it on an exchange or whatever. So, but there's a lot of passwords, and their password is not easy. It's like a 16-word phrase, and it doesn't make any sense. No, word.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And you got to.
I think it's 16 words in this live stream.
oh. I guess she wants to talk more, so she's running the next one.
Yep. No, it wasn't a complaint. I was know. Just saying that's a lot of words.
It is, and there's like a password, there's a key, like a GUID key, and then there's like this phrase thing, a seed phrase or something. It's like and just think, if you lose one thing of it, all your stuff's gone.
Yep. That's
and it's the same for cold storage. A little less for exchanges. They just have normal multi-factor authentication. All right, that's next week. Next Saturday, same bat time, same bat place. Ooh, will we get in trouble for that? That should be public domain.
Wrong, so I say no.
I said it wrong because I reversed it or something?
No, it's a bat channel, not bat place.
Good. See, it's ours now. We're gonna mint that as an NFT.
Same bat place.
That's funny. That's like those shirts that like you buy and you think you bought the authentic one. It has the misspelling on it or something.
Yep. Rick got some Hey Dudes, and they're from China, and they do not look like Hey Dudes at all. They're hilarious. And I was like, what are they? What does it say? Hey Duds on it? And we were cracking up. But then he was sad because he didn't get the right ones.
I mean, that sadness is always there. I've been in that same boat. And I think most, if anybody ever starts listening to this, I think most people would be in that same category too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like you try to cheap out, you try to go the cheap way, and you know it in the back of your mind. You're like, oh my gosh, this is too good of a deal. And you're like, nope, it's perfect. I've done all my research. And then you find out it's still just fake. And that's what NFTs can help with, but it's not going to solve the problem. People are still going to be people.
Yeah, sabotaging ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
all right.
I knew it wasn't the real thing. Yep, let's do this. I need a break.
Yep, that's what I figured. So, all right. Thank you for tuning in, Grandma. And I'm guessing Craig, but I only see one concurrent viewer, so somebody dropped off.
Well, Craig couldn't hear us.
He's like, I can't watch you, and I can't hear
I'm
you.
Old. I can't hear you. That's his note.
yeah. That's what it was. So, all right.
That's okay. He can listen to us later. It'll still be relevant.
Sounds good. It'll only be relevant for a few days though. Everything changes.
Right?
All right. See everyone later. Have a great weekend and a great week next week.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I hope that.
Well, I could say we could be mean. That's fine. I don't mind being mean.
No, that was just really nice. I wanted to say it out loud.
Well, it wasn't to you though. It was to everyone.
No, I know, to everyone else. Yeah.
Everyone else.
No, I didn't take it personal.
Good. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.